Alright, hey, what's up guys? Hey. I'm Dave.
And I'm Jenny.
And for today's video, well I guess the next two videos, we're going to be showing you our projects that are not on video. So we've been making projects for maybe 2 years now, 2.5 years now. When we lived in an apartment and then when we moved into the house, that's when we really started making furniture. So the goal of today and Wednesday's video is to really just show some of the projects that we haven't filmed. Sorry, Bruce is...
the dog just like sat down on our feet.
Anyway, so the purpose of today and Wednesday's video is just to give you an idea of kind of our growth from not knowing what to do at all with woodworking to the pieces that we make now. And we're by no means experts now, but we definitely feel like we have a better handle on woodworking. So we just wanted to show you snapshots through time of, you know, the projects that we started with.
I wish we had that coffee table still so we could show them our first coffee table. We just got rid of it because it was a wobbly disaster.
When I threw it, we took it to the dump, and when I threw it, it landed on its legs and just...
So that would have been like the ideal starting point, because that legitimately was the starting point.
That was our first project,
yeah.
So anyway, we'll get you there. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
All right, so here's how this is gonna go down. When I talk about like building stuff and like it's me talking about it, I built it. And then if I'm talking about finishing and Jenny's talking, that means she finished it. It's just to give you a better idea of what's going on. And
so whoever did the most work on it's gonna talk about it.
Right, and then we're gonna step through chronologically. So the first projects in this video you'll see are the very first things that we made. We'll show everything. We'll show what we didn't do. We'll show where we messed up. So we're gonna try to make it entertaining, so.
All right, so this first project we're gonna talk about little couch end tables. We wanted something to be able to set drinks on and stuff like that. So if we take a closer look at them, they are made all out of plywood, which is not bad. They're nice and sturdy. So how we cut these was our friend had a little table saw that he had gotten at a garage sale, and we were like, oh, somebody has a table saw. So we went and borrowed it to make all of the cuts. Anything else that we didn't do on the table saw, we did with our circular saw. So we weren't working with much. So it was the first time we used pocket holes, so we went out and bought the $20 jig, and we were like, man, these are amazing. All right, so to make the legs, we laminated 2 pieces of plywood together to make them a little bit thicker and sturdier. And then we wanted a little bottom shelf here to store stuff, so we cut little rectangles here out of the corner, and then laid the legs flush with the edges of the shelf.
All right, so the next thing that we built after the living room stuff is we built kind of a bedroom set. And I say kind of because it's fallen apart 2 or 3 times. There have been a couple times where the bed frame is just a hot mess of 2x4s put together. There's been times that those have broken and cracked, and it's due for a replacement, and that's something that we're gonna do this summer. But I wanted to show you these nightstands that I made. So these are built mostly out of 1x material from Home Depot. All we had was a circular saw and a couple of drills. And so I was limited to what I could do with those. And again, I had no woodworking knowledge or experience, so I took the, 1x10s, 1x12s, and I cut 2 pieces and then joined them sideways. So it's extremely like flexible, and the one joint in the middle is just not very good. So anyway, they're falling apart. This is also my first time ever making drawers, and it's just a wooden runner on the bottom, tacked to the sides, and then just a really crappy box. I use like 1/4-inch plywood for the sides and then solid front and back, and I tried to like drill through and it was a mess. I learned a lot when making them. So again, Jenny finished them. All we did was stain them and then seal it with oil-based polyurethane. For the headboard up here, I'm kind of actually pretty proud of this design. It's something I found on Pinterest or something online, and it's just a whole bunch of 1x material layered up. So each of these boards are put into a groove that's then glued and screwed down into the side pieces, so it's kind of a sandwich on the sides. Alright, so the next piece that I built was this hall tree. This was right as soon as we moved into the house. Yeah, right?
Yep.
Yep, we moved into the house, and then you left for a few months, And then I was just by myself, so I started building furniture that the house needed, and this was the first thing. So this was my first time ever working with oak, and I bought a bunch of red oak and ripped them down because this is after I first bought my table saw. I ripped all the pieces of oak down, glued them up into a panel, and that's what you see is the bench seat, and it's stained and sealed with water-based polyurethane. And then the top is a sheet of plywood and then a bunch of 1x material to make all the decorations. So you see the big farmhouse style X here, all the framing, and then a 2x4 on the top for a top ledge. And then there's cubbies at the bottom where we put our shoes.
And our cat.
All right, this is the first piece that I would consider, I don't know, big furniture. This is the first piece that I still feel comfortable showing people and having people look at, and you know, I mean, it's right by our front door. So, but this is right when I felt like, okay, I got this. I know this woodworking thing. It's not my best piece, but I think I could do way better now, but this is kind of my threshold of like, if it's not as nice as this piece, I really don't want to show it to anybody. So that's kind of, this is kind of where it all began. All right, so right after the hall tree, I decided to make an entertainment center for our big TV here. I got these old speakers at an estate sale when we lived in Arizona, and I had them here and wanted a nice way to display them that wasn't just set next to the TV stand. So you'll notice that it's very similar to the hall tree. I used the same white paint, same 2x4 leg, plywood side design with the 1x material as accents for the piece. And again, an oak top. And I tried to do a little bit of distressing, which really just kind of backfired. Just made it look like a crappy piece instead of, you know, it being old and distressed. But you can't really tell.
That's because I was gone right and I didn't work my magic on it.
Yeah, Jenny was still gone. She didn't have her rustic magic to put on this piece. But yeah, this piece is great. It's got a couple shelves for some game consoles and the audio receiver. Yeah, that's about it for this piece. All right, and the last piece in the almost identical farmhouse series is this buffet table. This was right before Jenny came home after 2 or 3 months of being away, finishing up some school and stuff. And so, again, oak, dark stained top. We've got the 2x4 legs with plywood sides and accents. This was also my first project where I made cabinet doors. So I actually did the tongue and groove with a floating 1/4-inch plywood panel. They turned out okay. The paint job, on sale they were having nice paint sprayers, and I bought one and I put some latex paint through it. I didn't know what I was doing. Really made it just a nightmare. There's nasty orange peel in the paint. This needs to be repainted at some point in the future. The drawers are okay. This is also my first time using full extension drawer slides. This drawer is absolutely perfect. The other two suck. So this is the only drawer that we actually use. I think this took like 3 sheets of plywood and, I don't know, maybe 20 feet or so of oak. We use this as a buffet because our backyard is right out there on that glass door, so we use this when we're having parties. We put food out. We just use it like a normal buffet. So this is the nicest piece that I think I've made to date. It's the first project that I ever used legit hardwoods on, except for an oak top. This is the first time I used hardwood. It's made of walnut and bird's eye maple that we picked up when we were rolling through Fargo one time, and yeah, I was nervous to put everything together and use hardwoods for the first time, but I said, okay, I'm just gonna make a nice piece. So I kind of drew this up in SketchUp. This is also right when I learned how to use Google SketchUp to start planning things. And this piece is sort of shaker inspired with the tapered legs and just sort of the overall proportions. I didn't really have any model I was going off of. I just did what I thought would look nice. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty great. Jenny doesn't like it because it doesn't match any of the farmhouse stuff in the house, but I don't really care. It's out and it's right by the staircase, so we can drop our keys and wallets and stuff like that once we come in from work or wherever we've been. All right, so that's about half of the furniture that we have built so far. There's a distinct difference after we built this piece of what our woodworking became next. And so we'll get into that on Wednesday. But for now, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got to see some of our earlier crappy projects. We're not so proud.
Yeah, and that feel good about yourself too if you're just getting into woodworking, because it's Man, these first projects have been rough, but it's one of those things like everybody goes through that phase. You have to start somewhere. It's not embarrassing. Just go start somewhere.
And one of the things that's rewarding about it is you don't realize you suck when you suck.
Yes.
It's only like 6 months later you're like, man, I was really proud of that, but that kind of looks like crap now, like compared. So
like those end tables, man, we were proud of those when we finished the best was the drawers down in our bedroom. We were so proud of those. When
we're like, we have drawers.
Yeah.
We're adults. And then
we made an entire bedroom set.
And now it's like all falling apart and crooked, and so Anyway, yeah, don't get discouraged. You're always gonna like your projects way better when you build them than 6. And I'm sure that eventually I'll think that that's a piece of crap. So
or it was just so simple.
Right. So anyway, don't beat yourself up if you're just starting out. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. We'll pick it up again on Wednesday. The reason we're doing these videos instead of project videos is we just got back from vacation. And we're just pooped.
It was a long weekend. That's why we're all in like sweats and we're like.
We'll talk about it in the vlog, but we basically just did like a loop of the western half of the whole United States. Yeah. So stay tuned. We will have regular project videos out. We just didn't want to leave you hanging with no videos this week. So we're taking a breather, but we'll be back, and we've got some big stuff planned the rest of the summer.
So give us a thumbs up if you like this video.
Yeah, go ahead and subscribe if somehow this is the first video. If this is the first video you're watching on our channel, I'm sorry.
Go back and find some other project videos.
We'll put one like right over here for you to watch. But yeah, anyway, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on Wednesday.